go get him again.
Welcome back to the Robezoid channel. I'm your host Mark, and on the docket today we have an unboxing first impression video on the brand of Electimuss, and this is called Celestial. Obviously not much of an unboxing to do. It's already unboxed. It's part of the mega Frag Flex return haul. Looks like Celestial got a new bottle. It used to be just a normal bottle. Now it's got like the blue hue, and it's got little specks of gold, like little, well, obviously stars, I'm assuming is the look here. These bottles are massive, and they're heavy. Like, this is a brick. You can take someone out with this and inflict lots of damage. Like, that is one thing that they don't cheap out on. I don't know if they put 10-pound weights in these bottles, but holy moly, they're heavy. Now, this is a brand that, of course, is part of the Free Bottle Brigade, so you got to be careful with brands like that, there is manufactured hype on certain fragrances, right? Some of these brands don't give out all their bottles. They just give out certain ones to manufacturer marketing for the new releases. So just keep that in mind. It's just a nice little thing to have, especially to newbies that stumble upon my channel, which hardly happens, but if you do, if you aren't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, much appreciated. To my returnees, you guys are the best. But yeah, that is why I always do these little warnings. Some people don't like that, don't care. My channel, right? You know, until I ask you to pay me for the channel, you know, that little join button that a lot of these influencers have, you know, you can pay $5.99, $12.99, 30, 50 bucks. Some of these influencers are asking crazy money for you to watch a review that's going to be early release. Who cares? I wouldn't pay that, but some do. Yeah. Just be warned. And that's why I say those little things, just to let you know that there is some, not everything is legit in this reviewing game. So let's get into the notes. Let's take a look at the notes for this one. And I'm seeing, you know, some raspberry, black pepper, tonka, gaiac wood. So there's nothing really crazy here as far as the note breakdown goes. This was released back in 2020, so it already has a bottle rebrand. Since this is more, it's actually a much nicer bottle than just the regular Electimuss bottles. I like the blue gradient. So let's get into it. The nose behind this is Christian Provenzano. That name is familiar. Boadicea. I think he's done some Boadicea the Victorious fragrances. Yeah, you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. I know a lot of people love to correct me when I'm wrong. So let's take a look at pricing. This one retails for $390 US. $400. You see my eyes, they just boggle out of my skull with some of these brands. Okay, 400 USD. You know you're gonna get the best of me when a fragrance is $300 or more, because I am stern with my $300 fragrances. You're not gonna fool me. I've got the experience. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to call a spade a spade. I'm going to say if it's worth it or not. A lot of people are going to be like, well, no fragrance is worth $300. You may be right. But this is a luxury product. You got to remember that. Luxury products, they can charge you whatever they want. Like Tom Fords, people get mad. Tom Fords are up to $500. Well, the designer brands are bringing up their fragrances to $200. What do you think they're going to do? These brands, maybe not my generation, maybe the next generation, but you're going to see Tom Ford fragrances being $1,000. It's a premium product. Is it worth it? Most likely not. But if people are paying for it, they will continue to bring them up, right? So for 100 mil of this, $390 USD, you better be good. 174 on Frag Flex, so that's one huge discount for the same bottle size. So we will see. And why do I say Frag Flex? Because this is part of the Frag Flex return haul. Not that they're a sponsor of this video. They kind of are, but they're not, because, well, they pay me to decant this. They don't pay me to review it. So I can say whatever I want. And I actually stand behind that. So it's not like other influencers. I'm not bought, but oh, this is so good. Raspberry Ford with the rose. Oh, a little bit of spicy kick behind that. Saffron, Yep, saffron's in there. A little bit of pepper. It's really light. I was expecting something a little more dense, right? Olibanum's in here, pink pepper, black pepper, saffron, guaiac wood, tonka seed. Those are dense notes. This is not that dense. This is quite light for what it is. Wow, this is not as dark. Celestial, well, I was thinking. And again, like I say, you get the best of me because it's plus $300. But I do a lot of these unboxings daily, nightly, basically. I'm just like everybody else, right? I'm gonna have a tough day at work, and sometimes my nose is not gonna be the best in the game, and some days it'll be quite good. Yeah, it's a lot lighter, even on my skin. It's a lot lighter than I assumed with these darker notes. So it's a raspberry forward introduction, but not too fruity and not too sweet. And I hate when reviewers do that because it's like, what do you mean? It's very like a raspberry with density. Sweetness, like I mean like synthetic sweetness. Like it's not in that realm. It's hidden well enough. Like I always talk about fruity notes need to be hidden a little bit, like a little guarded with the other notes, better notes basically, because a lot of these fruity notes are very synthetic. When you leave them all alone by themselves, you can see the flaws in those notes. Yeah. A little bit of dash of spices too. Again, very restrained. Like every single note in here is very restrained. The rose is super light. There's an incense in here, olibanum, but it's showing a lot more lemon, citrusy aspects than anything incense-wise, like smoke. I'm not getting any of that. A little bit of tonka in the back end, giving it some sweetness. But really well constructed and quite light and much brighter than I expected. And maybe that's the whole idea of celestial. Maybe they're talking about the stars within all the black or the darkness. There's a little bit of light. Honestly, this is a very thin fragrance, surprisingly. Yeah, and I don't think I'm getting the imagery. It's not jiving with me. Not all fragrances will, right? All the stories, sometimes the story you can relate to it in scent profile. Here, I'm not getting that. It's a little boring, personally, for me. Not worth the Electimuss pricing. No, $390. Forget about it. What is it on Fragflex? $174. No, I wouldn't. It's not a standout from the brand, personally, for me. No. So yeah, there you have it. Celestial. Why am I putting an R in there? Celestial from Electimuss. Uninspiring to me. Much lighter than I thought. Little bit of woods, and that's guaiac wood and cedar in here, but it's very mellow. Like primaries in the introduction is raspberry for sure. I think the rose is really carrying this thing, but it's really more of mostly it's a fragrance that a lot of notes are playing a part. So there's no real, like raspberry did shout out a little bit in the start. The rose and the saffron has their space. But you get woody aspects, you get a little bit of spicy aspects, but everything is mellowed. So one of those that honestly for me, there's nothing in this note breakdown on my skin right now that's shouting I'm $300, $200 good. It's not. It really is just kind of like, it reminds me of like maybe like a Maltal or a Mansetta, like middle of the road, kind of just lost in translation. Not one of the worst, not one of the best. I'm not getting the imagery that they're trying to portray here. I'm not. So it's kind of like one of those that I'm just not relating to the perfume. So personally for me, no go. Now that you're my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. There is fans of this brand. I'm looking forward to the positives. I'm really more in the, not super negative, but I'm more negative. Like, I'm not even lukewarm on this thing. This is an absolute no for me personally. If you asked me, I'm going to tell you, this will never come out as a recommendation out of my email or anything like that. I would never recommend this to anybody, just for the price point alone and for what it gives me. Yeah. And as always, a great pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.